Hello and welcome to another Every Tuesday tutorial. In this week's tutorial, we are going to be creating some floating shadows like you see on screen using Adobe Illustrator. A few weeks ago, I shared my process for doing the same thing in Procreate on an iPad. So I want to show you how easy it is to also create that same effect in Adobe Illustrator. So first and foremost, everybody's process is different when it comes to this kind of thing. So I just want to preface this by saying this is my process. There's plenty of different processes out there if you're not a fan of this or if you are, but this is how I accomplish this effect. The font that we're going to be using for this is called Corner Bakery, and I actually gave it away for free last week. So if you hit the link in the video description, you will be led where you can download this font for free. So this was to celebrate the Every Tuesday channel hitting 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Last week it happened, so I wanted to celebrate and do something special. So I gave my newest font, Corner Bakery, which you see right here, away for free. So make sure you hit that link in the video description. You can go pick that up. Okay, so we are using 3 different colors to accomplish this. So I'm going to give you the color builds. I'm working in RGB just because it's a little more vibrant on screen so you can see everything really well. Nice and beautiful. So this is the dark purple, this is the lighter purple, and this is the kind of red orangish color that we're working with. So the first thing you're going to do is just type out the word that you want to apply the shadow to. So this works really well for headlines or even signage, things that you're using type really large on. It works really well with this kind of effect. So I'm just going to type out shadows using Corner Bakery. Scale this up so you can see it really well. And we'll just color it this dark purple color right here. Okay, so from here, what you're going to do is everything after this will make the text uneditable. So if you want to keep your text settings for this, you can just save a copy that's editable later on. But just a heads up, once you proceed with the following steps, you're not going to be able to edit your text again. So what we're going to do is convert this into being just shapes so we can work with it, and it'll also help us create this effect far quicker. So all you're going to do is with it selected, just go Object, Expand, and hit OK. I've got Object and Fill selected right here, and now these are shapes, but you can see where they kind of intertwine into one another. So we want to make sure that this is totally flattened so we don't see these little pieces right here. So I'm just going to come over here to my Pathfinder palette, and you can get to that by going Window, Pathfinder, and you're just going to hit this merge icon right here under shape modes, and once you hit that, you can see it's all merged together. So according to Illustrator right now, wherever we've got the merging going on, that's considered a shape, but then we've got all these separate letters that are still considered individual shapes, even though the word itself, when we click on it, it's grouped. Illustrator still knows that these are individual components. So in order to make everything way easier, and we want Illustrator to consider this one shape, even though we've got separate components in here. So in order to do that, we need to create a compound path. And the keyboard shortcut for that is Command 8 or Control 8 on a PC. You can also go Object, Compound Path, Make right here. So I'm going to do that, and that's a really important step, so make sure you do not skip that. Okay, so now that we have our top layer, we are in really good shape, so now we're going to start creating that shadow effect. So what we want to do is create a copy of this and drag it all the way down here so we can get the full length of the shadow that we need. So I'm going to hold Alt on my keyboard, click, and then I'm just going to drag it over. So I'm not going to get too extreme because I don't want all of this space right here. I still want it to be believable that it's a real shadow, but I want to put some space in between where the shadow ends and the actual word begins. Okay, so now I've got my 2 copies right here, but they're kind of hard to tell them apart. So I'm just going to eyedropper this lighter purple color so we can see things better. And we want this copy sent to the back. So you can just right click, arrange, send to back. So we've got the darker one on top. So this is all looking really good, and all we need to do is bring in that space between the two. So in order to do that, we're going to actually create a third copy that is exactly in between these 2 copies. That way we can delete it from this bottom copy to leave that space right there. So that might be a little confusing, but it'll all make sense once you see it. So what you want to do is come over here to your blend tool. So double click on that, and where it says specified steps under spacing, choose 1 right here. Just type in the number 1 and hit OK. And now you're going to click on the dark colored copy, and then you're going to click on the light colored copy, and this is going to put that middle shade right between them. So you can see I've got 3 different colors right here. So essentially we're going to be deleting this middle color from the light color to leave that space. So right now, whenever you do the blend mode, you can see it's kind of tied everything together. So when you select one thing, you select everything. In order to separate these, we need to go Object, Expand, hit OK, and then you're going to go Object, Ungroup. All right, so now all these are individual pieces that we can select. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to focus entirely on these lighter colors. So we're going to lock and kind of hide this top color, and then we'll bring it back later on. So just select your top copy, the darkest one. Come to your layers palette. You're going to create a new layer. So hit this icon down here at the bottom. Where you see this little blue square right here, that just means this is what's selected, and we're going to drag it to another layer. So just click on this blue square and drag it up. So now you can see it changed to a red color because the layer 2 is a red color. We're going to lock this and we're going to hide it. So now we're just working with these 2 colors that are on our layer 1 right here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to rubber band select both of them, meaning just click and drag so both of these are selected. Return to your Pathfinder palette, and under shape modes, you're going to see this icon right here, and you're going to click it once, and that's going to delete. It's the minus front, so it's going to delete anything that's on the top layer from the bottom layer. So that's exactly what we need. If we return to our layer palette and we turn on our top layer again, you can see we've got that space that's right between them, so we have a true floating shadow. And from here, you can see I locked this top layer. We're going to unlock it so we can change the color if we want. I'm going to put a background color right here, send this to the back. We color this the dark color, and then I can color the top layer the lighter purple, just to color it the same as I have in the example right here. And then you can put any other extra text like I have floating right here above it. So that's how to create floating shadows in Adobe Illustrator. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe. I release a new design tutorial every single Tuesday. And don't forget to head on over to my blog, every-tuesday.com, for even more design tutorials and a bunch of design freebies. And once again, make sure you hit the link in the video description to pick up this free font corner bakery. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week.